What's up, y'all? It's your boy, number one, Nightmare, a.k.a. TD Ayo-Durojaiye. You're listening to The Last One. This is episode 5. This is the camp vlog for Nova Football. I'm excited to have you guys on here again. Today was a really nice day. Both sides of the ball looked pretty solid. It was a pretty even day for the most part. I mean, I'm a biased guy, so I'm obviously say the edge goes to the offense, but we saw a lot of good things out there. We saw guys running really good routes. We saw the guys getting open downfield. We saw the quarterbacks airing it out. The running back room had a pretty solid day. We saw good things from J-Jack. We saw a lot of good things from guys all over the place. The offensive line was blocking well. There's a lot of things we can clean up. Quarterbacks giving the ball, guys making the right read, better blocks, all types of things that could be done on the offense that could be cleaned up and, allow us to succeed long-term, things that we got to fix. And, tomorrow's the opportunity to do that. The defense had a good day. DBs were looking good downfield. DBs looked good in Indy. Linebackers were moving around. But, like I said, I don't know. I feel like the edge goes to the offense. I don't know. But, the film will tell. And, we never know. So, I have two guys with me right here. I got John Wyatt and I have Julian Glantz. Two guys that I think have been making a lot of strides this year. Two guys that I think can really help us out. And two guys that I think each day have been consistently trying to get better. John Wyatt had a really nice technical pass breakup earlier today, playing on one of our better receivers, Jalen Sanchez. And, John's a guy that's in my locker aisle as a guy, I try to push and a guy that I want to see do really good things this year because, he has the ability. So I'm going to ask John, just a couple questions of, how he feels right now, where he would like to get to by the end of camp and where he sees himself, helping us out this season. So I'm going to pass the baton to John. So, John, tell us a little bit about how you feel right now mentally and physically on the field, and then tell us about, what you think you need to work on, going forward, and then where would you like to see yourself be by the end of camp in the next 15 days or so?
I could say, mentally, I've been feeling good, and physically I've been feeling good on the field as well. I feel like I've been feeling faster, much stronger for sure, and I've been doing a lot of studying, and I've been in my playbook constantly every single day. So, it's the game move kind of slow for me now, just knowing all the plays, where the right places to be at on the field is really helping me out to be able to play better physically on the field. But one thing I want to work on for myself is staying square in front of receivers, so really open my hips and turning a lot. That's one key that I really want to work on, is try to get play a little more physical on other people, a little bit more, be a little bit stronger, have a little bit more of a killer instinct with other guys on the field. I'm not gonna try to kill my teammates, of course, but just be more physical. Show my way that, I'm there, show presence on the field a little bit more and more. Try to make plays on the ball for real, like that.
Yeah, and also, being a sophomore now and, having gone through a whole full freshman season, lifting with Tuck and White group, having to learn the playbook, and then having the spring season where you've kind of been there, not even for a full year, but you kind of get what it's like to be a Villanova football player. How would you say you've developed over the last year as a football player, not only mentally, but, kind of what you were talking about, the physical part? What's the biggest difference you see compared to last year, your first year?
I could say for physically, a big jump was my weight, because when I first came here, I was 6'2", 175, but now 6'2", 195, I feel a lot faster for sure. I'm able to run with people like Jalen Sanchez and Pringle. I'm able to run, because last year I knew for a fact I was not be able to run with them. Stride for stride, but now I think I could get my hands on them. I think I could run with them now. But also, wait, what was the first question again? My fault.
Yeah, I kind of just where you think the biggest jump you've made from last year, just in terms of your knowledge of the game and your comfort level in the defense.
Oh yeah, so the biggest jump I could say is being confident in myself. That's the biggest thing. Because last year, coming in to college, of course, I'm a little freshman, I don't know what's going on. Everybody's flying around fast, and everybody's a star player. Coming from high school as a star player and coming here, it's I'm on the bottom of the total pool. It's just mad weird for me. So, I could say I gained my confidence. My confidence built up day by day. It makes me a better player mentally every single day. Just go out there, just ball out.
Yeah, and honestly, thank you so much for that, John. And, me personally, just somebody who observes a little bit of everything, at practice. I've seen John, put in the extra work. I saw him on the field yesterday. And, I see him always constantly trying to get better. Him and Nate Hill are guys that, are of the same age that are trying to sharpen each other as, as two great young football players. And, John, as you continue to make this journey, just think about consistency. Like, you know what it's like now. You've had a full year under yourself, and you have to guard guys like Pringle and Jay Sanchez, who are going to be all CAA level players. So I just want you to continue to be consistent with that confidence that you've built, because you're going to be someone that we're going to need down the road. So, obviously, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for, being honest with us, because honestly, like, all the things you're talking about, very controllable. Just continue to be confident and continue to believe in yourself. We brought you here for a reason. So I want you to be confident, because you can play, and I want you to play. So, transitioning from that, we're going to go to the other side of the ball. Here we have Julian Glantz, sophomore running back. I always love the opportunities to bring one of my running backs in. Julian is one of those running backs where, you'll look at him and you're like, okay, and then he'll start playing and then you'll be surprised. But, as somebody who watches Julian on a day-to-day, all the stuff he does, he works on, he tries it, and, he puts in the work. He's one of the harder workers on the team. So, Julian, kind of asking you some of the same things, like, let's start with the question that I just asked John. What would you say the biggest jump is compared, to last year being a freshman running back, being in the room that you were in, and, the biggest stride that you've made over the last year? What would you say the biggest jump was?
Sort of going off of what John was just talking about. He was talking about confidence. I'd say for me, my confidence has never really wavered. I've always been hungry to get on the field because I'm always confident in my abilities. But I think looking back on it now, I can understand how maybe a year ago I wasn't fully ready. Even though I was eager to be on the field, I wasn't fully aware. I didn't have all the nicks and whatever of the offense down. And I'd say this second camp for me has been a huge jump, not only in terms of understanding not just what I have to do as a running back, but the broader objectives of the offense as a whole, knowing what the offensive line is doing, knowing what the quarterback's looking for. So that's one jump. And then off of that, also my awareness off the field, knowing, how I can better myself after practice, before practice. Getting in the ice bath every day has been huge for my recovery. And just after we're done with walkthrough, have our snack, and then it's back. Me and Luke Daly have been grinding, getting at least 30 minutes or so in the weight room of extra mobility, extra whatnot. It's stuff that, not everyone's going to see, but eventually those extra little bits of work are going to pay dividends down the line.
Right, and going off of that extra bit of work, Julian, I would say, running back is a position that, I talk about all the time, is plug and play. A lot of guys are able to play that position at a really high level, and you could just look at our room. How would you say, compared to last year, I know that you see that you make your cuts faster, just your reaction and your flow of the game is so much better. So kind of some of the questions that I asked John, how do you feel about yourself right now, knowing all that you've gained over the last year? How do you feel right now? Where would you like to get to, and where would you like to end up by the end of camp?
Absolutely. I think going off the little bits of work I've been putting in, it's all about just especially at a position like running back, where a lot of the time it's it's me versus someone else in the hole, or it's me catching the ball and just not getting tackled. The whole objective is to stay on my feet, and really the word that comes to mind when I think about myself as a running back and where I want to be is, undeniable and unstoppable. So it's all about every day adding to myself, doing something extra that's going to make me that unstoppable, undeniable version of myself. Because, right now they might have reasons to keep me off the field. There might be reasons to think that defenders might be able to tackle me and whatnot. But, eventually I'm going to be firing at such a high level on all cylinders and everything I'm doing, where I'm simply going to be undeniable and unstoppable for any defense to stop me.
Right, and, kind of going off that, Julian, you and I have had conversations about, the extra work, and you just continue to tap, one day it's just going to happen. So my challenge to you, I want you to continue to just push yourself and practice to just be, how can I make this play as good as possible based on what my job is? You know how our running back room is. Reps are hard to come by during practice. There's 8 of us. You know, you're not always going to get favorable plays. You're not always going to get favorable blocking. You're not always going to get an opportunity to run with the ones. So I want you to just continue to just, how can Julian Glantz make this the best play possible? If it's supposed to be a 5-yard gain, Julian's got to make it a 15-yard gain. If it's a 10-yard gain, it's got to be a touchdown. So that's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on how can I make this play as good as possible, because if you maximize your opportunity, you give confidence to not only yourself, but the coaches be like, okay, if I give him more, the output has to be better if I continue to put him in. And you just have to continue to find ways. You're a gritty kid. Find ways to get on the field. Find ways to get noticed. You haven't had a problem. Bro, you've always worked hard since you got here. You've never backed down from a challenge, so you just have to continue to build consistency. I don't think there's anything in your game that you really lack, to be honest. I think you have enough speed. Everyone can always get faster. You have enough speed to break away. You have enough power. You're strong. You're 215 pounds. And you've shown that you have the moves. Just continue to be consistent.
Yeah. And going off of that, I also, like TD said, reps are going to be hard to come by, of course. So going off of that, when I'm not getting reps, I think I also want to improve. And part of the reason I wanted to be on this podcast is because TD for me is a guy who has undeniable passion, undeniable enthusiasm. And for me, that's, for an older guy to show me that has been inspirational. I think he's one of the only guys on the team who, this guy will run down the field 60 yards, slide on his stomach just to, celebrate with his guys in the end zone. And I'm trying to emulate that sort of passion, enthusiasm, and hype for my team and teammates.
Yeah, so Julian, I really appreciate that last part, and that's what we all need, right? We have to love what we're doing. If we love what we're doing, it's going to be easy to do. Camp is not easy, but the more we love on each other and the more we love the process, the better we're going to be. And as we continue, and as we wrap up this segment of the last one, I'm going to ask these two gentlemen one final question, and we're going to go ahead to our special teams meeting and walkthrough, and we'll finish our day today. But so, John, I'll start with you. So, what do you think this team? And let's start with the defense. Where do you think the defense needs to be in order to be ready to be championship ready? Because we want to win a championship this year. What's one thing you think we need to do right now?
We should be together for real. Because, sometimes I can say, sometimes some people don't trust each other on the field. Because sometimes in practice, people might mess up a lot. And they can see us I'm not going to trust them to make this play on the field if I'm out there. So they might be doing over too much stuff on the field. And I mess them up and cause them to make a play. So I think us as being together can really just help us out, just trust one another, and really get to know one another. Cause I know for a fact, some people don't know each other at all on the defensive side. I can say for myself too. I don't talk to none of the D linemen. I don't know none of them. That's a problem for me. I should be able to know them and trust them that they'll be able to get to the back or get to the quarterback. Help me out, make my job easier on the field. So just being together for real.
And Julian, so where do you think, offense, we run a lot of different formations. We give the ball to a lot of different guys. We expect a lot of different guys to play. What's one thing, based on what you've seen at camp so far, what's one thing you think we need to do to be championship ready by the time we play Lehigh?
For one, I'll echo what John said about, knowing guys. Because I think, it's one thing to watch a guy in practice and, sort of know, his moves or whatnot. But it's another thing to know his motivations, know why he's here, know why knowing that motivation might lead you to know, how he's going to break that tackle. Because sometimes it's deeper than just what his skill set is. It's about the person as a whole. And I think knowing that together, knowing that about each and every guy on the unit builds a level of trust that, I think is extremely powerful. And I think going off that level of trust, I think we just have to be, we got to be perfect. It sounds hard. It sounds difficult, but, we got to be perfect on our assignments. We got to be perfect on our execution of plays. We got to, the blocks got to be in place. We got to have our vision on, we got to have our vision firing in the way it should be, and receivers got to be running in the way they should be. And, everyone's got to be doing their job. And I think when everyone knows this guy's going to do his job, I know this guy, and he wants that route, and he wants to run it perfectly. He's been working on that shit. That builds a level of trust and love, and I think that love is what can carry this team to a national championship, in my opinion.
So there you have it, guys. I mean, I brought on two of my teammates, two completely different guys, play different positions, different personalities. But as you can see, Villanova 2023 football, we have one goal in mind. Togetherness is something that's important to us. And these are two sophomores here talking about championship aspirations and what they can do to help our team get better. So, this is just another episode and just another day in the life as a Villanova football player, but we're chasing greatness, and I hope you guys are going to follow along and, don't be a fan later. We over me. See y'all later.